People are in so many different walks of life when that question is posed. Like, there are people who feel like a failure just because of, like we talked about on the last show, with comparing themselves to others. However, there are people who have sin in their life, like what they call a big sin, which holds them back from having the, confidence that they should have in Christ, which then causes them to feel like a failure. So it's just so many different things that could cause one to feel like they aren't measuring up to the success that they should. How and I mean, and the Bible even talks about how sin separates us from God, and that's not on God's part. That's on our part, just because of what is done, and then the condemnation that we hold, and then all of those different things. And I think if people really gather what God thinks about them, like David talked about in Psalms 139, how well God knew him. How, I mean, it's like 18 verses on David just saying how well God knew him in his highs and in his lows. And we all know David's story, and him not being faithful and then being a murderer and all. But then the Bible clearly states that David was a man after God's own heart. And so when you look at those things, it's just kind of like, here's this God who knows me, but yet in John 3:16 it says he loved me so much that he sent his son to die for me. And once we really grasp how well he knows us, and how he did all of those things before we ever was here, or before we ever felt inadequate, or before we ever um allow sin into our life in any shape or form, God still sent his son to die for us. He did that so that we could have the grace to now pick up wherever we are in life and now continue on. And you measure your success, like I believe it was Nona who said, you're not comparing yourself to other success. You're comparing yourself to yesterday. So yes, you may have messed up yesterday or blew it yesterday, or you may not have the degree that you want in life, or there's just so many different things. But what can you do today to now feel successful in your area? And once you fully know God knows you, he knows where you are. He knew what level of school you would finish. He knew all of those things before he called you. And yet he still called you to fulfill what you needed to fulfill. So from today, from hearing this, now I believe they can see what success looks like to them, and they can see where to go from there, and then to know that all of their shortcomings were lessons and learning, and now they can go even further than what they even thought. I feel like if people just know what God says about them and what he called them to do, and how valuable, and how he doesn't view them as a failure, I just really believe that it would help in every area of their life for them to see the success that they want.
Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe today and you'll never miss a new upload. Thanks for being a part of our Better Together community.